Say something about presidential politics. It isn't about technology first, it's about message first. And when you have no message, and no case to make, and you don't make the case you have, you will lose. And you know what? In the exit polls of a distorted electorate, because a lot of your people didn't show up to vote. Because I guess they didn't give a damn enough. And why should they? Nobody bothered to tell them. They were lying, money was being made elsewhere. Any presidential candidate who allows consultants to run his campaign for president is a fool. And the worst executive I've ever seen is Mitt Romney. Stu Stevens had, I said this on the air at the time, had as much business running a presidential campaign as a strategist as I did sprouting wings and flying in the moon. It was like putting a lieutenant in charge of Normandy. But worse than that, it was putting the fox in the chicken coop, because the wonderful thing Romney campaign could outspend everybody on was consultants and self-dealing money. So he's running around saying, oh, it was Obamacare was so popular with Hispanics, and Romney spouts out on Fox. Well, let me tell you something. That is just crap. You know what? And someone would say that. Then he said, oh, was in the press in the bag for Obama? Oh, no, they're not. I mean, the subtext for Stu Stevens running around the last several weeks has been a simple message, which is, look, I threw the election for you. Why don't you like me? But the question you want to ask Romney is this. Besides Stu Stevens, he's going to speak here. But the question ought to be asked is, you spent $45 million in the spring, in 2008, in a campaign that was hopeless. In the spring, you quote you're out of money because of the law. Why didn't you write your campaign, give your campaign a loan, or write a check, instead of allowing the Obama people to beat you to death and define you? Because your super PAC, and everyone, you had failed for a year and a half to define yourself. You didn't know Bain was coming. Ted Kennedy used it against you. These people didn't care. Their attitude was, we're going to win, the economy is bad, and we don't have to do anything. And these people are still perpetuating. But the criminal, you know what? Some of this borders on RICO statute problems, right? When you have the chief of staff of the RNC and the political director of the Romney campaign, there are two companies. Oh, they didn't give you money. No, there are two companies. Took $152 million out at the end of the campaign for the fantastic get out the vote, voter outreach. You didn't see the Obama campaign doing that, did you? The very chief of staff who was going to manage for the RNC, what went wrong in the election. You get my point? The whole thing about this, the Senate stuff, crossroads, what a disaster. Hundreds of millions of dollars wasted in losing it, and the people, no one has held responsible. Rance Priebus gets reelected unanimously. Mitch McConnell presides over a Senate campaign disaster, is elected without opposition. You people ought to be asking yourself, what are you in business for? Politics is like war. If you can't win, get the hell going. But you people put up with it, and I'll tell you why. Because ultimately, in the end, it's a simple matter of all of these things and these consultants, and they're all have arrangements with each other. You have one media guy doing Crossroads, AFP, and the ads for the Romney Super PAC. They're all bad ads. One guy. You know why? Because it's all self-dealing going on. Who do I blame? The donors who allow themselves to be played for marks. You people in the grassroots who allow yourselves to be played for suckers. And most of all of you for enabling those, because you allow it to happen. You don't tell candidates you won't give them work, you won't support them, you won't give them money if they're going to be part of this. The Republican Party has a question. It's either going, the country doesn't need two Washington parties. As I used to say, they'll always figure out the real one over the ersatz one every time. If you can't be the anti-Washington, anti-establishment party, and that complex, that lobbyist, consultant, establishment complex will not allow that to happen. They're all here playing games with you this week, these few days. Well, you're gone. 70% of the country hates the political class. They want to preserve it. Mr. Quinn and Mr. Gillespie work together very well. As the Senator Lott, who left to go to business with John Brown. If you think that's for the good of the country, you're all, then you deserve what you get. And I want to tell you, it's time for you to stop being marks, it's time to stop being suckers, it's time for you people to get